Okay, so today we are going to talk about cupping. Yay! I am so freaking excited to talk about this. I am not a professional. I want to put this disclaimer right up there in front. I'm not a professional. I do not have professional training. I don't even really have much training at all. But I started my cupping journey in January when I started going to pelvic floor PT. And so the physical therapist started doing cupping for me for my endometriosis pain. And since then I have graduated to my own cupping set and doing my own cupping. So let's get into it. So like I mentioned, I have endometriosis and I went to pelvic floor PT for the endometriosis pain, for my chronic constipation, which it fully solved, which is really incredible. But the endo pain is just kind of this ongoing thing, an ongoing problem. And so my PT had started to do cupping on my abdominal area, and I had never had cupping done before. And so I was pretty nervous because if you've ever had cupping done or have seen cupping, it really looks kind of scary. Like, it looks very bulbous when you have the skin kind of go up into the cup. It looks a little scary. My cupping set here, I'll get it out to show you. My cupping set has plastic cups. This is what they look like. It has this, what I call a gun, but I don't know what it's actually called. And I also have this attachment, which makes it so much easier. I use this even if I'm cupping on other people. And you basically just like put this in, and then you attach this end to the cup here, and then to do the cupping. So I started out at 2 pumps doing my cupping with my PT. So she used not the same set, but a similar set. And so she would use this gun and do the cupping. And she started out, like I said, at 2, but we ended up graduating to 3 at some point. And so we would cup my whole abdominal area to really try helping my endometriosis pain. At one point we also tried cupping my jaws here because I have a ton of jaw pain, because a lot of the endo stuff is like full body relaxation and full body de-stress, but this didn't really help my jaw pain, at least where we had tried it, and it left a mark. So a lot of times cupping leaves a bruise, because what cupping is you're bringing blood flow to the surface. So according to Google, cupping helps with pain relief, which is what I was using it for. Improves blood flow, can help with relaxation, well-being, and improved immune system support, and it helps by enhancing circulation and easing muscle tension. So a lot of people use this for arthritis, back pain, and headaches. We started at 2 cup pumps and we ended up going up to 3. Now we would do my whole abdominal area with several different cups, and the most painful ones were on my ribs, because what happens is your skin gets like sucked up into it, and if you don't have a lot of skin or don't have a lot of fat in certain areas, it hurts more than others. So I was kind of nervous at first, but we kind of eased into it, and it really helped my endo pain. And when she would do it, she would also do a like trigger point massage before she did it to know where there was points of pain, and then she would do the cupping on top of those points that she had found. Now there are 2 different kinds of cupping. There's dynamic cupping and static cupping. So dynamic cupping is when you take the cup and you put a bunch of lotion on the area, and then you can actually move the cup around on your skin, because there's so much lotion, it's able to easily glide and not lose suction unless you go over like your belly button or something, and then it would lose suction. And so I personally prefer dynamic, because you're moving around, and something that's really interesting is you can actually see the skin change color. When the skin gets darker in a certain area, that means that it needs it, according to what I've been told by my physical therapist. And so then you would leave it in that area for longer. So I prefer dynamic, but it's a lot harder when you're doing it just on yourself. And then you're less likely to have bruises. I bruise pretty easily, so I would have bruises when my PT did it. She'll leave it on for about 5 minutes, I think, and 3 pumps, sometimes longer. And so I would have a bruise sometimes for the whole week. Now, when I've been doing it on my own stomach, I haven't really bruised very much. I've been really easing into it myself, because with my endo pain, it's actually been helping to just leave it on for about 5 minutes, static, so leaving it in one place. That's really been helping my endo pain a lot, because my endo pain was really starting to flare again after I graduated from pelvic floor PT, and I hadn't really gotten into the cupping much myself. It was easier to learn on other people. So the first people that I did cupping on were actually my parents and not myself. which is really funny. So I did cupping on my dad's back because he was having a lot of back pain, and he felt like it actually helped. I think he was very skeptical at first, and then when I did it the first time, he was like, wow, actually my back feels a lot better. And then my mom was having knee pain, and so I tried doing it around her knee because I actually have two different, I don't know what this would be called, but this one you can see is like a U shape right there. So it goes like this, and this one is just a straight across one. There you go, you can see. And so the one that has this like U shape, that one is a lot better around joints. And so that was one that I kind of was trying to use around the knee. Well, I have some very small ones. This cupping set has a bunch of different sizes. This is the smallest size I have, and then this is the largest size I have. So I use these large ones on my stomach and my abdominal area. These, I have two of this size, and I use two of the next smallest size on my abdomen. But these really small ones are great for like areas that don't have a lot of skin, don't have a lot of fat. And so another thing I've also done is my shoulder. So I'm currently in PT for both of my shoulders because I have osteoarthritis in both shoulders, but I've lost a lot of range of motion, which shouldn't be necessarily from the arthritis, and so I'm going to PT to gain that range of motion back. And my right shoulder was hurting a lot, so I actually took this size, which is a 4, and I was putting it kind of in this area here, and then also kind of in these areas here. Now also on my mom, I did her full back, and I just kind of did a row of my biggest ones, 4 down one side, leave it on for 5 minutes, and I did 4 down the other side and leave it on for 5 minutes. And she thought that that was just very relaxing. She didn't necessarily have any back pain. She just felt like it was very relaxing and kind of spa-like. That was for Mother's Day. I did the cupping on my mom's back. I've just found this to be so helpful for my endo pain specifically. It's just very exciting because with my endo pain, I've not had much relief from pretty much anything. And so to be able to do this cupping on my own, this cupping set was probably 20-30 bucks. And so yeah, I was actually going to show you how I do cupping. Let me see if I can vlog while showing you how to do this, because it looks crazy at first. It looks really, really wild, but it actually is really amazing. So I was going to try cupping on my shoulder. I think I could actually just show you cupping here. And so let's get into my tutorial. I also wanted to mention like the origins of cupping. So cupping is, as far as I understand, a traditional Chinese medicine. They have been doing it for thousands of years. I don't know the science behind this, but they have been using it in their healing techniques for a really, really long time with great success. So we are going to take this, and you take this end, and you want to make sure that this little thing is pulled out so that it can actually suction, and then you go like this. All right, we'll try in the front here. All right, that is 2. Let's try 3. There we go. So that was 3 pumps. What I usually do is then pull off this top. It's really hard to do this one-handed. There you go. So you can see it's holding suction. Basically what I would do is I would leave this on for about 5 minutes. However, one of my friends who literally grew up with her mom doing cupping and traditional Chinese medicine, she recommends doing longer and more suction. So this one was the most amount of suction I could get because it's a really kind of weird area. But she recommended, like for my stomach, doing longer and more pumps because it just looks kind of crazy. Let's see if we can get this one on. This is just such a big one that it is just not holding. Oh, there's a little bit of suction. Oh, yeah, it's only doing 1 pump though. This is a horrible tutorial. Okay, baby. Now it's really bad because it's your butt. Okay, we got a little bit of suction there. There we go. Nice. Both of them are holding suction. You can tell that they get dark pretty quickly, for me at least, because I bruise very easily. So let me set the timer for 4 minutes because it's been about a minute I've been talking with them on. The thing that I forgot to mention while these are just like on and doing their thing, my current PT who I'm seeing for my shoulders, she also uses cupping. She hasn't done any cupping on me, but she uses cupping in her practice. And so I was talking to her about this, and she said what you want to do is you want to, like for the shoulder, you would want to leave these on, and then you would want to stretch the shoulder after doing this. So she said, like for mobility purposes, if you're cupping for mobility, then yes, you would want to use your shoulder and do maybe like my PT stretches would be a great idea to do them now after I've cupped my shoulder and really gotten the blood flow moving, loosened up the muscle, all of that. Yeah, that top one's getting quite purple, which I think means it needed it. All right, we still have 2 minutes and 45 seconds left. Again, I know a lot of people learned about cupping through the Olympics and like watching Olympians. I think it was a lot of swimmers that had cupping marks or cupping bruises on their back. And I think a lot of those, my PT said, usually they would probably leave them on for like 10 minutes. And then that's why they have such crazy dark circles on their back. I've never left anything on for 10 minutes at this point, so don't know what the benefits of that would be. but me leaving it on for 5 minutes on my stomach has really helped a lot. Also, according to Google, cupping may even help with digestive problems, skin conditions, and even certain respiratory problems. So like the benefits of this are so far wide reaching, but again, you really want to be careful. You do not want to cup on any major arteries, orifices. You need to be so careful like where you do actually cup, trying to just cup on like muscles or fatty areas like your stomach. Yeah, and so really trying to just keep it to like muscular areas or joints, stuff like that. It's like around the neck. Ooh, all right, well, we lost one. Accidentally hit it. And so what's very interesting is that like this area you can see is much more red and almost bruised than this other area here. So that was left on for about almost the full time, probably about 4 minutes, and the other one popped off. We still had 30 seconds left. So these are really hard to keep on. Obviously I was moving around, I was hitting them, you know, all of that. But you can see like these are the red marks that are left. This one, this area might bruise here, but I don't think that these are really going to bruise. But they just can leave a red mark on there for a little bit, but at the end of the day, usually they kind of go away. But again, my friend who does these Chinese medicine techniques, she was like, yeah, leave it on for longer. It'll kind of hurt sometimes. That's okay, that's normal. Yeah, more pumps as well. So you just want to kind of do your own research. Again, I'm not a professional. Please do your own research, follow a professional's advice. But this has just kind of been my experience with it, is that it's super helpful for a wide range of things. But really, my endo pain, when I'm telling you, like I've been cupping consistently for the past week or so. I was like, okay, I'm gonna dedicate myself to doing it every other day. Like if you have a cupping bruise, you don't want to cup on top of that, is what I've been told. So I was like, okay, let me try doing it every other day. That has really decreased my pain. My endo pain was probably back up to like a 6, 7. Now it's probably down to like a 2. Hopefully this at least gets you intrigued or interested into looking into cupping more, because I was so new to cupping and it has really helped so much. And it's so cool that it's accessible. You can go research it more, look into it. There are a lot of practitioners that do cupping for you. So obviously they are trained and know how to do it safely, and then maybe even can teach you how to do it as well, like my PTs have done for me. So if you try cupping or have done cupping before, or if something I said you're like, that's not how I learned it, please comment below. Again, like I said, I'm not a professional, so don't take what I say and run with it. Do your own research. But I just want to kind of spark people's interest in cupping, because I never heard about it before, and it has just drastically improved my endometriosis pain and other areas of pain too. You know that your girl has body pain with osteoarthritis, with endometriosis, with just so many different chronic pain conditions that I have. So thank you so much for listening today. I can't wait to continue updating you on the journey. In the future, I'll do more vlogs on digital minimalism, which I'm so excited to keep exploring, and different health stuff that I'm trying and that I found helpful. And so yeah, so if you try this out, please let me know if you enjoyed it. This is just what I've personally been using and really enjoying and really liking. All right, talk soon, friends. Bye.